What's up, my beautiful bros? Maine-iac here with Battle Royale Fortnite update 1.57, at least for the PS4. Now, with this update comes some minor changes, but some major additions as well. Now, Save the World will be later on in the video, so just stay tuned for that if you do play that game. But first, we want to go over Battle Royale, and we're going to go over the new Battle Royale equipment, the Clinger. Now, this is an uncommon thing. It can spawn out of chest, supply drops, loot llamas, floor loot, stuff like that. It comes in stacks of 3. It's a sticky grenade that will not detonate in midair. Once it sticks to a surface or player, it will blow up 2.5 seconds later. Now, to surfaces and structures and stuff like that, it does 200 damage, but to players, it does 100 damage. Now, what I like about this is, I don't know how fast you can get them off, but if, let's say you and a friend have it, both have them, if you both stick the same person, no matter how much health they have, they're gonna take a full 200 and die. Now, what this also does is, I believe it creates a lot more utility. With grenades, or with lobbing grenades, I should say, the problem was if an enemy was just far enough away, the grenade would blow up before it got to the destination. It's the same thing with grenade launchers and stuff like that. But hopefully how this will play is you can lob it, and even if you don't hit someone or whatever, you can help destroy their base, because it will stick to the base and then detonate, rather than detonate before it even gets there. Also, if something that it gets stuck to gets destroyed beforehand, it will detonate early. There's that. It stacks up to 10. I believe I said that. Another thing I believe how this can be played is, if you're in a fight and you sneak up on someone, you can stick them with this, switch to a weapon, pop off a few shots, and you should die. With an AR, let's say with a purple scar up close, 3 shots and detonation, no matter how much health they have, they will die. Now, it has a 1 tile radius, and by that I mean like 1 floorboard apart, 1 like staircase apart, or like 1 wall, or however you want to call it. That's its range. So it's not too far, so it's not like you can chuck it into the middle of a big base and kill everyone in the base. But it should be a good weapon. It should be a fun addition. I think now, honestly, if I find these over grenades, I'll probably carry these instead. But still, not something that's a must-have, but something that looks like it will be fun to use. Now, also with this update for the PS4, you'll notice some issues with Twitch account linking. Now, with Twitch Prime, you can still link through the Epic Games website, but currently, it has normal Twitch account linking has been removed due to the game client due to scalability issues, so that will be fixed relatively soon. Also fixed a minor bug where metal doors were not making a sound when closed, which, thinking about that bug, if you ran into it and someone closed the metal door underneath you or near you, they could sneak up on you if that sound wasn't played. So that's good to fix that. Other than that, looking at it, with this addition of the Clinger, explosives in treasure chests, or remote explosives I should say, their spawn rate has been reduced, or the chances I should say finding it have been reduced by 40%, which I don't like using remote explosives, so having something else you can get from it is kind of epic. It makes me happy. Also, the minigun got a buff, not a huge buff, but a buff that makes it more useful, I should say, more useful. Now, accuracy is increased by 10%, recoil is decreased by 10%, damage on epic has been increased from 16 to 17, and legendary has been increased from 18 to 19. Now, it doesn't seem like much, but with 1 more damage, 10% more accuracy, recoil by 10% less, you could realistically probably nail people a lot easier, and your chances of actually taking someone down if you use a minigun probably increase by 20% or like 15% at least, which would be cool. And it's definitely good for the smaller bases from far away. If you have a minigun and you're hitting a big base from far away, you should be good to take it down, but if there's like a 1 panel wide one from far away, some of your bullets miss, so this should help with that. Porta Forts have also been changed a little bit. The Porta Fort tires no longer grant falling damage immunity after players bounce off of them. So if you bounce from a huge height and throw a Porta Fort, you're probably boned. Porta Fort trajectory preview now indicates if there will be a little ramp or stilts on it, on uneven ground if you're going to throw it. And the trajectory will now turn red if you're aiming too high, which is good. There is no collision issue anymore with Porta Fort tires where down players could hide in them, which is good because if you down someone in a Porta Fort and you're like, where'd they go? Now, that's no longer an issue. No, submachine guns shouldn't fail to reload anymore. There was an issue with that. Cozy campfires also had an issue where they lasted longer than they intended by maybe a second. I had that actually happen in a 50v50. I was using a campfire, had 48 health, and it should have took me up to 98, but it took me up to 100, which was interesting indeed. Fixed an issue where red hit markers wouldn't show when a rocket launcher dealt damage, which also, that is an issue, because let's say you're launching a rocket and you hit someone, and it doesn't show the marker that you hit someone. You sometimes might think, oh, there's no one there, but if you get the hit marker, you're like, oh, someone's there, let me go finish them off. So it's something minor, but still good. And the red light on remote explosive, the blinking one, can no longer be seen through doors, which is one thing where trapping someone was kind of ineffective recently with the remote explosives, because someone could see actually through a door, and they're like, oh shit, I'm not going to go through that door. So that's good. Loot llamas and supply drops, the consumables from them shouldn't exceed the max stack size, which it's not like as a player who got that glitch, it's not like it hurt you, actually helped you, but as a player facing someone who got that glitch, it kind of hurt, because let's say out of nowhere someone gets like 5 medkits or 3 big shields or 2 jugs in a stack or something like that. It just feels kind of broken. Also, with simple gameplay, short fences will no longer block you from building structures, which is clutch and good, which also made no sense if you think about it. You can build through a truck, but a little white picket fence, you couldn't build through it, which was just stupid. First shot accuracy also now resets when you crouch, uncrouch, or switch weapons. Players now spawn on the starting island closer to the squad mates, which is cool because if you want to show out your friends your new skin or your new emote, there's that kind of thing right there. Supply balloon health has been adjusted, which is clutch. If you are familiar, like with let's say AR medium ammo, the stacks were about, I think it's about like 8 months ago now, 6 months ago, where they changed from 10 in solo, 14 in duo, and 18 in squads, or something like that. Now, the supply drops see a similar buff. Supply drops now have only 500 health in solo, 750 health in duos, and 1250 health in squads, which means a solo player should be able to take it down a lot faster, which is helpful indeed if you're one of the solo players who now go after them quite a bit. Supply drops now spawn twice as high and fall twice as fast. This overall doesn't change their drop time, obviously, because if they're twice as high, twice as fast, it's going to get there in the same amount of time. But it will make it a little harder to see if it's twice as high. And, you know, just having it drop faster, it just feels different in a way. It's a little weird. Other fixes for Builder Pro, if you use that control layout, fixed an issue where primary fire could be interrupted when releasing aim down sights. Fixed an issue where sprinting could stop you if you switched to build mode and attempted to quickly build a ramp. Fixed an issue causing players' weapons to automatically fire after placing a structure and switching to the weapon. Fixed multiple issues as well with supply drops. Balloon collision no longer remains after the crate is opened. Supply drops no longer get stuck on structures, trees, or in the air. Fixed Porta Fort tires floating in the air when Porta Fort is thrown at a supply drop, which I didn't even know about that one. Players no longer take falling damage when landing on top of tires. Fixed an issue that caused doors to recoil after quickly spamming the interact input when approaching the door. Fixed an issue that switched the wrong building piece to edit mode when attempting to edit a different piece. So with like a roof and a staircase next to each other, if you went to click edit the roof, it would force you to like edit the staircase or something like that. I ran into that a few times, so I'm glad that's fixed. As for the UI, self-service cosmetic returns feature have been added. Will allow you to return up to 3 cosmetic purchases for V-Bucks lifetime. What can be returned is the emotes, gliders, harvesting tools, backpack bling, outfits. Now, I will show you an example. Let's say... Oh, actually, I didn't want to put that on. I honestly don't know how to... Let's see. What happens if I click this? I honestly don't know how to do it, so I'm not really the one to ask about that. But apparently you can turn in things you've bought for V-Bucks 3 times in your lifetime. Now, what that does to me is, let's go to the item shop right here. Let's say I went to buy Wukong, and say I got distracted a little bit, and I moved over and accidentally bought this crappy ass infiltrator. I'd be mad. Or say there's an emote that you bought forever ago, and you're just tired of it. You can get some V-Bucks back for it. Things that cannot be returned, though, are Battle Pass tiers, or Battle Passes, or other packages like that. I guess a lot of people have been asking for refunds for their outfits and stuff like that because they made a mistake in buying something, which is good. I like it. I mean, it's nice of them to put this in for free, even though there's only 3 of them. But still, if you made a mistakeful purchase, which all of us have at one point, it's good for that to be in there. Now, for audio, improve the sound for multiple supply drops spawning together, indicating how many spawn and where they spawn from. So it's easier to tell if there's one to your left and to your right, over than just one like big noise that just makes it feel like it's above your head. So that should help as well. Art and animation. The Raven's clothing shouldn't glitch across the screen anymore, which is nice. In the locker, I should say. Fixed an issue with the bite mark pickaxe that prevented the biting physics from working properly, which is also nice. And performance got improved a little bit. Improved hitching that occurs on player elimination. Resolved hitching that occurred when rendering foliage, and reduced hitches on Mac. Mobile added an option to enable a fire button, which is awesome. Fixed interactions where players failed to revive teammates and open chest, which is epic. Fixed an issue where resources being gathered were displayed in the wrong location, not a big deal. Fixed an issue in which characters would occasionally move when the map was opened. I've had that happen before too. Fixed an issue that prevented friendly structures from being edited. Also have had that happen. Now time for Save the World. If you guys want to stay tuned, then stay here. But if you're done with Battle Royale, then go have fun, go play the game. Now, with the Battle Royale, with the Save the World, we have the new Clinger, as I already said before. This will not damage your player-built structures in Save the World, which is good. Can be found in drops in the world and expires at the end of the mission. Same thing with remote explosives. If you found remote explosives in the middle of the mission, it would disappear at the end. So that's not bad. The Noble launcher got added. I haven't been able to check this out, but if I can get gameplay for you guys on that, let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll do my best to get that to you. It's a heavy weapon that fires a wave of piercing energy, has 3 charge states: uncharged, half a tile wide range, moderate charge, 1 tile wide, and max charge, 1.5 tiles wide. Deals energy damage, which is fairly effective against all types of elemental enemies. Bacon now spawns in greater quantities, which is nice, because if you are a type of person that upgrades survivors a lot, you need lots of bacon. I just don't know why you keep finding it in toilets. It's just awkward to me. Energy ammo now has a buff amount of energy ammo per craft, increased from 80 to 100, which is clutch. And drops of energy ammo in the world increased by 20%. Also clutch, because you'll notice a lot of good weapons take energy ammo, especially the neon ones that recently came out. So increasing the energy ammo overall makes those a lot more useful. Salvage a drone mission adjustments. Drone will now crash less frequently, thank God. The drone should no longer crash next to a primary mission defense location. I've actually had a game where it crashed next to my defense location where I was building the defenses, and it destroyed half my defenses, and it was just awful. Completions rewards have been improved to drop a wider variety of items, and salvage resources have been tripled. So, makes the drone a lot more tempting to complete, I should say. In Thunder Route 99, where the current missions are, destroying mine support structures now grants the correct wood resource. Sometimes you would get metal or brick, and that made no sense. Difficulty pylon cost now is just 2 per difficulty increase no matter what, which is good, because I've sometimes wanted to increase it, only had 2, but it costs 3 for some reason, so it's not a big change, but it's still nice. The anomaly can be destroyed by anything doing world damage, including abilities and shooting. The rework of the anomaly, so you can shoot the anomaly to destroy it, which is good, because before you'd have to melee it. Once the anomaly has been destroyed, you must now retrieve the shards by interacting with them, so you don't have to build up a ramp and then just beat it to death. You can just interact with it now, which is good. Concrete corner walls in cities and industrial zones no longer block you from building there, which is helpful if you're quick building. Reduce the resurrect time on defenders from 5 seconds to 2 seconds. Also, really clutch if you think about it, if you're in a storm shield defense and you're by yourself, or if you're in a mission and you're by yourself. and your defenders go down, it makes it harder. So reviving them 250% faster is overall just nice. Rifts and encampments should no longer block your shots, which is awesome. Traps no longer float when the wall they are has been destroyed. Had that happen in Battle Royale once. My teammate got knocked by a phantom wall. You can actually look at that video. It's on my channel. It is an interesting issue indeed. Corrected an issue where remote explosives could not be thrown while sprinting. Removed predictive stair rotation that would frequently guess wrong. So basically, it removed the predictive rotation where it rotates the wrong way. Controllers can now zoom on the mission select screen by holding the triggers. Missions can now be selected by double-clicking them on the map screen. Removed ammo visualization from the HUD due to instances causing it to not reliably fit on screen. Fixed an issue that prevented scrolling through quest description for the Quest Reunion Tour. Fixed an issue where quest updates would pop up behind the build option HUD. Fixed an issue where rewards appeared off-screen on the mission select screen. Fixed a delay that occurred when leaving a mission after pressing the return home base button. Significantly reduced hitching in the transform menu. Fixed an issue where high-level players could only hit power level 124. They can now get up to power level 125. Some heroes have been fixed as well. Bulletstorm Jonesy Startup and Start Faster perk to not grant the correct amount of bonus rate of fire has now been fixed. Fixed an issue where players could shoot during Constructor's Bull Rush animation, which sounds just OP, so I'm glad they fixed that. As for enemies, fixed an issue where certain enemies were showing up too often within the world. And for audio, feel the bass shockwave sounds redesigned to be more impact and have more bass, which is kind of funny because it's called Feel the Bass, so to put more bass in that kind of, I think, fits the little mold for Fortnite and for Save the World and stuff like that. Anyways, thank you for watching. Don't forget to leave a like. That's as many patch notes as I could get a hold on. Anyway, guys, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.